Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name is Vasily, and in this video I'm going to present my solution for the tutorial number 5 for the course COM 1406. So first of all, I would like to run my application so you can see that I solved all the problems so that my application works properly. Okay, so let me run my program, and so the window pops out. So here we have the list of words. And so first of all, I would like to show the fact that if I select a certain word, you can see that once I release the mouse, the word is still being highlighted. So the highlight is not automatically removed. So the next thing I want to show is that if I move this word, you can see that the words keep moving, and once I place it somewhere, the highlight will be cleared. And so this was one of the optional problems that we were asked to solve. So as you can see, if I move the word and I release it, you can see that the highlight will be automatically removed. Additionally, you can also see that if I select several words and I keep dragging them, you can see that all of their relative positions are preserved and that they're moving by the same amount of by the same distance. And so once I press them, put them somewhere, you see that all of the highlights are cleared now. So finally, I also want to show that if I select all of these words, let me just try this again. So if I select all of these words, and then you can see that now 4 words are selected. And so if I press somewhere on the empty space, it's going to automatically clear the word selection. All right, and so I hope this shows that I solved all of the problems. And so now let me go back to the IntelliJ so I can show the specific modifications to the code that I made. So first of all, let's look at the method which handles the mouse dragging. So what this method is going to do is first it's going to obtain the current location of the mouse and record it into these 2 variables. And so once this is done, what this method is going to do is going to iterate over every draggable words in the list of the draggable words. And then what it's going to do is going to check whatever this word was selected for moving. And so if it was indeed selected, it's going to move the selected word by the difference between the current mouse location and the previous mouse location. And so once it's done moving the words, it's going to update the previous location of the mouse and record its location into the variables previous mouse location X and Y. And finally is going to make the value of the variable called word being dragged null. Now let's move to the method that handles the mouse press event. So this method is activated when we press on the mouse button. And so first what this method does is that it will record the locations of the mouse, of where the mouse was pressed on the screen. And so then if we're not asking for the context menu, this method is going to make the value of this variable equal to null. And after that, it's going to again iterate over all elements in the draggable words list. And so it's going to check whatever the current mouse location points at one of these words. And so if it indeed points, it's going to highlight the selected word, and it's also going to update the value of the variable word being dragged. So in this case, you can see that this variable actually acts as a flag to see whatever we're trying to drag any word at the current moment. And so once this is done, it's going to update the values of the variables previous mouse location X and Y. And finally, let's look at the method which called the handle mouse released event. And so this method is going to be responsible for handling the case when we're releasing the mouse after pressing the button. And so what's going to happen is that this method is going to record the values, it's going to record the locations of where the mouse was released. And then if we're not asking to open the context menu, this method is going to check whatever the current value of the word being dragged variable is equal to null. And so this will allow us to see whatever we're trying to select any words for movement. So as you can see, what happens in this case, since let's say we have selected some words for the movement, and so if we have selected some words, the value of this variable is going to be equal to the last word that was selected. But rather, if we have just like let's say we have clicked somewhere on the empty space, the value of this variable is going to be null. And so in this case, it's going to check. So if the value of this variable is null, and so which means that we have pressed somewhere on the empty space on the screen, it's going to clear all of the current word selections. And overall, I hope this explains how I solved tutorial number 5. Thank you for your attention, and bye for now.